a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Welcome back to I Wani Hug That Gator. It's date time. Before we knew it, we were admiring passing buildings as our rail car raced towards the city. Why is this not working? One thing we noticed were the Christmas lights tangled about inside the metro, which gave it a much cozier vibe. As we neared the concrete jungle, even the street lights and buildings grow infested with the holiday cheer. I can only imagine what this place will look like in the coming days. Definitely coming back later with Olivia, along with my camera. After a bit of walking and sightseeing, we arrive at the city's Japanese district, Little Trudon. As eager as I am to look around and immerse myself in the surroundings, Olivia's appetite for hibachi outranks it. We can always check it out after anyways. Heading inside, there's a distinct scent in the air that enters my nose. I can't pinpoint what exactly the smell like, but the word aromatic comes to mind. Konnichiwa, welcome. A table for two, I presume? Yes, I called earlier for reservations. The waitress takes a moment to look at the tablet placed in front of her. Ah, yes, table for Mr. Nito and guest. Follow me. She grabs us a menu and leads us to the main dining area. As we're guided through the restaurant, I take in the interior design, seeing various set pieces, decor, and portraits of famous actors posing with who I assume is the owner of the restaurant. Entering into the main dining area, the sound of lively conversation floods my ears, as does the savory fragrance of food being cooked for the other patrons. Just as Olivia said, each table had a grill in the center, where the chef was chopping, dicing, and slicing. I can feel my mouth filling up with drool with each passing moment. Finally, we reach our table, where another party occupies the other remaining seats. Enjoy! So, how would you? My hand waves over Olivia, around her chair's handlebar. Olivia seems to understand what I'm about to entail, because without a word, she effortlessly hoists herself out of her wheelchair and onto a dining chair. I fold the wheelchair and place it by a nearby wall and seat myself next to her. Nice. So, how are you feeling so far, Liv? Olivia smiles, letting her cold fingers splay out near the grill right before us. Her tail curls up over the counter and joins them. I join her for a few seconds, warming my knuckles. I already like this place. It's like a combo of a show, a dinner, and a sauna. I reach for the menu that sits between us. Let's see. You already know what you want to get? Sushi. They got the good stuff here. She points to something on the menu I don't have a hope of ever pronouncing correctly. Nevertheless, it looks appetizing. What about you? I'm thinking something warm and filling. Oh, what about the dishes then? Oh, what about this dish then? She points to the one of the specialty dishes titled Trudon Delight. Chicken breast, hibachi steak, and a colossal shrimp lightly seasoned and grilled. Ah, kind of like a variety dish. Sounds good enough for me. A variety, an idea comes to me and I scan the menu thoroughly. The section in particular takes up nearly the entire page. It's something I recalled from some of the foodie blogs I've read. Hey, why don't we try all the appetizers? What? Lying the menu flat before her, the appetizer page, her eyes widen at how many choices there are. Yeah, like we should try sampling everything and see which is best. That'd be really expensive though, right? It would. Each plate already cost over $15. Fuck me. But consider the experience. I can see her practically salivating as she looks at the page. How about half then? That'd still be around 7 plates, but I'm sure I can cover that much. Okay. She cuts me off before I can cheer. But not all at once. Huh? I want to appreciate the show too. So 2 dishes at a time. It's a week concession, and I already figure Olivia's plan to fill up early to save my bank account. Sure. So we debate which appetizer to pick and start with. Our voices now mingling with the rest of the ambience as we wait to order. And by the time somebody comes around, we've already compiled a list of the most appealing sounding options. Eventually, a chef approaches our table with a large fork and blade in hand, scraping the two against each other in a theatrical manner before greeting us and heating up the stove. He uses a nearby container of oil to cover the cooking surface in the shape of a smiley face before setting the assortment on fire and spreading it across the stove with a blade. And a second staff member drops off a cart filled with uncooked meat and veggies that will soon become our dinner. With his ingredients readied, the chef starts his performance, expertly spinning his razor-sharp utensils with a grin on his face. Vegetables diced and stacked into explosive minifigures. Meats sizzled, flipped, and thrown through the air. Fish and shrimp sliced and juggled around the chef without even looking. Even as we serve up our starting orders, we were entirely too focused on the master chef. Olivia is completely enthralled by the performance. Not that she's the only one. The dexterity and skill the chef has with our food isn't like anything I've seen in any high-class restaurant my parents dragged me to before. After a minute or two of watching the chef's culinary showmanship, the couple beside us received their order. He eases over to now stand before Olivia and I, his eyes carefully scanning the tiny scrap of paper before nodding. Konbanwa, my hungry-looking friends. I'm definitely hungry looking at Olivia. Looking at her, Olivia's eyes are the size of her plate. Her lips are trembling over her smile, and her chopsticks creak within her fingers. Her first time here, I assume? Mine too. Aye, new friends to our lovely city. Allow me to give you proper Gator welcome. Before I can tell him that we aren't tourists, the cook sets down a pre-peeled onion on the grill. With his sharpened spatula and tongs, the onion is cut expertly and then its rings separated and stacked into a neat cone. When he raises a finger with a smile, I can't help but lean forward. He holds up a bottle of clear liquid and squirts it into the whoosh! I reel back at the sudden heat erupting from the onion cano, fingers tapping above my eyes. Ah, shit, my eyebrows. You're fine and go relax. Confirming a few bits of hair are still on my head, the chef laughs and slides the onion creation around. Warm enough of a welcome. Quite. He laughs as the onions are added onto my first appetizer plate, a sampler of various garnished fish and meats. Olivia is quick to take the still sizzling piece of steak and chomp on it, chewing on it even as her eyes water from the heat of it. The chef notices and uses a spatula to side Olivia's glass of water closer to her, which she uses to quickly cool her tongue. I am happy to see you so eager to enjoy my cooking, but a good meal is best savored slowly. My hand rubs Olivia's back in comfort, but she still smiles and reaches for another cut of steak. Totally worth it. One by one, more of our appetizers are given to us. While I would normally go into detail about each one's unique flavors and how it affects my palate, only one thing really comes to mind. It's freaking delicious. Olivia seems to have the same sentiment, currently scarfing down the rest of her salmon rolls. Any couples here tonight? For a moment, I glance at the girl beside me, enjoying her own little moment as she chows down on her food. We are. It's the holiday season, which means the chef hovers his prongs over our heads with something green placed on its ends. It's mistletoe. Kiss between the gentleman and the Wani girl, yes? Tender. The lingering pleasantness fills my heart as the chef tosses the mistletoe on a steak, revealing its true identity as garnish. Hey, what does Wani mean? It means gator. Ooh, I guess I do look like a gator. Yeah? I always thinking of you as the green gator girl. Really? What as opposed to the green baryonyx girl? Do you see Damien and refer to him as the red Dilophosaurus guy too? Hey, I'm Inko. Wow, I just heard a noise. I crane my head towards the direction of the pink Dilophosaurus and the blue. I'm not even gonna do this. I get it. Good. Everyone I just got to meet a triceratops. In fact, I met two. Would you? I use my chopsticks to fling the onion over to her. She deftly chomps on it out of the air. Okay, who ordered the scallions? Ooh, that's us. With one last bite of shrimp, we finished our meal. The chef spins his utensils and gives us a bow, bidding us a wonderful evening. I managed to slip him a generous tip as thanks for his hospitality. As the waitress hands me the bill, she asks if we'd like some complimentary ice cream, which Olivia happily accepts. Some dessert sounds good right about now, so why not? It's not long until we cut open the sweet flaky shells of fried cake batter to get to the cool and tasty ice cream cores of our free deep-fried ice cream. Cold be damned, I need something sweet to top that off. Actually, hey, will you be alright for a while? I got an idea. Alright. Trust me, I'll be right back. There's a general store right across. Excellent. I cross, hoping they have what I have in mind. I'm back. Your ice cream was starting to melt. I was considering eating it. Rude. After I went out and got these just for you. I handed her a plastic bag. Pocket warmers. How considerate of you, Inky. She stuffs them in the pocket of her hoodie, cracking them to start the heating. I grab her wheelchair and unfold it next to her, offering a hand to help her into it. There's still a whole city out there. Want to go see it? She takes my hand, interlocking with her fingers between my own. Absolutely. Back outside, I finished the last of my dessert and let out a sigh of satisfaction. That was delicious. Couldn't agree more, though I'm not sure how fond I am of having the smell of hibachi on my clothes. Better than that cologne you always use. You notice that? Her head suddenly turns away, focusing instead on the open-air market in the distance. Well, we're in Little Trudon. The weather makes foot traffic non-existent in the town as ours. Where do you want to go first? She looks positively giddy, looking around the stores, looking for the best place to start. That way. I got a great feeling about it. With Olivia as my guide, we make our way towards the shopping center. Man, as if the main part of the city's holiday lighting wasn't captivating already, Little Trudon is just as whimsical. Fairy lights wrap around the street lamps, while paper lanterns hang along the streets, illuminating our path in a reddish hue. Holiday cheer and cultural tradition meshed perfectly together. We're here. Here, looking to be some kind of Arabian bazaar from a movie, except built into a building. There's walls and even a ceiling, though the ceiling is plastic and semi-transparent. But the walls are all cut into with cheap canopy, jutting from the tops of the openings, and so many colorful knickknacks hanging from them over tables equally filled to bursting with a plethora of items. Every other stall I see is a seller stationed right next to the cheap heater, waving and shouting at anyone who passed by. While the street had looked devoid of people, the shopping center was packed to the brim. That's the one. That one? I just know it. Lead the way. As we got closer, I can't help but notice the variety of interesting items being sold. Cheap-looking toys that light up and make music, T-shirts with very decals and vulgar jokes, and jade jewelry that looks like it was handmade this morning. All of it which have signs marking their prices that frankly reflect their quality very poorly. Further down the shopping center, we reach a section of indoor market that looks almost like a convenience store. Shelves upon shelves of exotic produce are placed along every wall of the store. In the center are displays showing snacks and candies which ineligibly signed with cutesy mascots. The ceiling now covered in greenery, more paper lanterns and banners adoring more Japanese text. Olivia's eyes light up with glee upon seeing the wide array of oriental goodies. You know, let's just make this our Christmas shopping. She nods and grins, and we start scanning each stall slowly. Immediately, I'm drawn to one that is exceptionally vibrant from all the toys in show. Some plastic figures even making noise, though there is certain rattiness to them. Still, I'm sure I could find something for Vinny. Recalling our first meeting, I look for any Power Raptor figure I can find on the table. Aha! Picking up a packaged figure, I wave Olivia over with her sugary treat hunting. Think Vinny will like this? She quirks an eyebrow briefly, then gives me the flattest stare I've ever seen. No. Why not? Inko. That's such a shitty bootleg. Like, it's not even named right. I look at the package and the small green figure. Powerful Raptorials. Huh. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is a cheap knockoff. If you want the good stuff, you gotta look in the back. The back? She rolls her eyes but motions for me to follow. Olivia wheels herself past the table and deeper into the stall. And the first thing I notice is how there's even more boxes of toys along one wall. And opposite to that, a wall covered with lots of swords and knives and other pointy, lethal things. Instead of looking at the toy wall, Olivia's eyes are glued to the weapon racks. I don't think Sophia would approve. Oh yeah, no. Takes a colossal effort to part her and turn her around. Partially from how cramped the space is, but mainly how her eyes linger on a particular sword on the shelf. Looking closer, it looks like the one from the show we watched together. Neat. Maybe, Sophia definitely wouldn't approve. It doesn't take long for Olivia to pick up a pair of toys to give Damien's younger brother. Though I don't think wooden weaponry count as toys. Our purchases were made and we moved on to the next person on our list, to the next stall. We ventured through the halls, deliberately throwing ideas back and forth on ideas for the rest of the pains. I was astonished to find a jacket close in design to mine, but for a fraction of the price, and just the right size for Damien. And Olivia pointed out a neat little statue of an insect carved out of amber stone. She said it'd be perfect for Randy, so it's added to the pot. That left Sophia, and Olivia had brought us to a stall filled with textile materials. I hadn't known she was a seamstress, but Olivia explained that it's one of her favorite hobbies. Not knowing much on the matter, I let Olivia go and talk with the shopkeeper about what she was looking to buy, while I stayed close to the front. Near the cash register, I spot one of the tiny novelty prize dispensers. One in particular catches my eye. It looks like a variation of whack-a-mole featuring a little alligator heads. They're cute. She would love one of these. It just so happens that I have 5 quarters. So I turn the crank and get a spherical capsule in exchange. What you getting? Olivia, got this for you. Ooh. I place the little toy in her hand and she brings it closer to examine. Aww. Look, you can bop it with a little hammer. Mm. 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 Ow. I know just the place for it. This is going right in my little treasure hoard. The thought brings a smile to my face. Did you find what you were looking for? Yep. She pulls out a few colorful bottles from her chair's compartment. These babies will look great on canvas. They had just the colors I needed too. Whoa, how is it different from regular paints from the store? It just is. But it just is. Oh, okay. I just got Auntie a roll of fox silk. She's always wanted to work with silk. An hour later, we've seen just about everything. Looks like it's just in time, too. All the friendlier stalls are starting to close down. I don't want to get caught in tight alleyways in this city after dark, so Olivia and I call it a night and head back to the metro station. We make one last turn to come to the entrance, and whoa! It's a large circular clearing, the widest space I've seen around, probably meant for performers and such. In the center is a huge Christmas tree with colorful strings of lights connecting to the surrounding stalls. How'd we miss that coming in? Whoa. We both have to crane our necks to see the star on top. It looks mosaic, each panel a different color to create a star within the wreath. The entirety of it glowing from a singular light source from within. The colorful lights bounce off us as we approach. They color Olivia's snout in reds, blues, purples, some even more vibrant greens. Even her breath coming out of vapor is lit up like it's part of the Christmas tree. For a moment, we stare at the Christmas tree in silence. All we can hear is the subtle ambience of the surroundings. It's serene. Was this a nice break? Yeah. But you know me, I'm itching to get back into it. We look back up at the tree. It's bright. Merry Christmas, Olivia. Christmas is until another few weeks. I know, I just felt like saying it. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Olivia's hand finds mine, our fingers intertwining slowly and our palms pressed warmly together. She doesn't speak, but her eyes convey so much. I carefully set down our shopping bags and take a knee beside her. She leans over her chair's armrest, bringing her head close until she can rest her chin on my shoulder. I can feel her lips move in a silent whisper as she nuzzles against me gently. A smile comes to my face as she mouths her appreciation for our first official date. Following her example, I lean my head back against her. My jaw moves, but no words come out. After all, we don't want to disrupt the peaceful silence. But still, I know Olivia understands my wordless thanks as I feel her lips quirk into a smile. We stay pressed together for some time. At least until my knees couldn't bear the stone floor and her scales couldn't handle the cold. Allowing the comfortable silence to continue, I stand up and slowly take us back to the station. The ride home, we're lucky enough to get the whole train car to ourselves. Olivia huddles close the whole way back. It's December and Volcadra Bluffs is officially here. So that's where we're going to continue next time, guys. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to check out my Patreon Subscribe Star and my other channel, Sinfully Pure. Bye, guys.